Hello, I'm Mr. Dady, and today we are going to talk about estimating square roots or estimating rational numbers that are square roots. Alright, the first thing you need to know when talking about estimating square roots is you need to know your perfect square roots. What a perfect square root is the square root of number that comes out to be a perfect whole number, such as 3. So square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 16 is 4. If you look at it the other way, 5 times 5 is 25. 6 times 6 is 36. So it's two numbers multiplied together is what you get when you square root something. It's just that number. So square root of 49 is 7. Square root of 64 is 8. 81, 9. Square root of 110, 121, 11. And 44 is 12. Those are your perfect square roots. You need to know that when you estimate. So to estimate our first example, we're going to do the square root of 12. The square root of 12 is not a perfect square root, but we need an estimation of it to know how large that number is. So what I do is I go down my list until I find where it would fall in between. So the square root of 12 will fall in between the square root of 9 and square root of 16. Because 12 is in between 9 and 16. So, alright, the square root of 9, the square root of 16. Alright? I'm going to make my little. So, what is the square root of 9? 3. What is the square root of 16? 4. Now, I'm going to make a nice little number line. You don't have to. It's just the way I do this. Alright, and I put the square root of 12 in between. Now you have to ask yourself, how many is it to get from the square root of 9 to 12? Just 9 to 12. That's 3 in between. Now how many does it take to get from 12 to 16? 4. So which is it closer to? Is it closer to 9 or 16? It's closer to 9. Alright? So now it's just about guessing. You have to use some common number sense here, just common sense. So 3 and 4. So this is actually close to the middle, right? Right in between them. 3 and a half would be right in the middle. So it's actually closer to the 9. So I know since it's closer to this one, it's not going to be a number over here. It's going to be here, right? The midway point. So I know it's not going to be right up on 9. I know it's going to be closer to the middle. So I'm going to guesstimate it to be about right there. So let's say about 3.4 is my approximation. So I say the square root of 12 is approximately 3.4. And then when we actually do it, we get some number close to that. I didn't write it down. But that is how you find it. It's all about using number sense and having common sense when you do this. If you don't have common sense, you can't do it. Alright? Sit there and just sort of look at it and figure it out. So now for example number 2. I have the square root of 21. I know that's not a perfect square root because it's not 25, it's not 16. Now I have to figure out what 2 it's in between. So it's in between the numbers 16 and 25. Now what is the square root of 16? 4. What's the square root of 25? 5. So I know my answer for the estimation is going to be between 4 and 5 now. Out of all the whole numbers there are, ours is going to be between 4 and 5. Alright? Now I just need to figure out which one it's closer to. So I have the square root of 21. How many does it take to get to 21 to 25? 4. How many does it take from 16 to 21? 5. So which one is it closer to? It's closer to 25. So I mark off this side. I'm not using it. Now, by using the actual knowledge, we've narrowed it down. So it's in between 4.5 and 5. where it's going to be now. Now this is where the common sense comes into play. All right, so it's 4 off. The total in between them is 9, and it's 4 off of it. So it's still going to be close to the middle, so I'll say 4.6. So I'm saying 4.6. And the actual answer is 4.58. So I am close. So the square root of 21 is approximately 4.6. As long as you get close to it, you're all right. Unless you can do it all in your head. All right, I'm not doing anything special here. I'm going to do the same exact thing I did with the last 2. All right? So square root of 35 is not one of my perfect square roots, but what is it in between? It's in between 25 and 36. So I write those down. Square root of 25, square root of 36. Now what is the square root of 25? It's 5. What is the square root of 36? 6. So now I know my answer is going to be in between 5 and 6. I know my answer is going to be 5 point something because it can't be 6 because that would be 36 and it can't be over 6. So my answer is going to be 5 point something. So now I put the square root of 35 right here. Now which one is this closer to? So it takes 10 to get from 25 to 35. How many does it take to get from 35 to 36? Just 1. So I know it's going to be on this side. So I can mark this entire side off. Now, here comes that common sense part again. Use some number sense here. So it's almost exactly 36. So it's got to be right up against that 6. I'm going to say it's approximately 5.9. And the actual answer is 5.91. So I'm right. Now this is all just about using common sense and number sense and sort of guessing your way to the answer, right? What I do is I find out what's in between, so it narrows it down to 2 numbers, or it's in between 2 numbers, and then I split it into half of that by figuring out how much it is in between them. And then it's just about guessing. Where is it close to? You don't have to get the exact number, just get close to it. All right, now I have one more example for you. All right, example 4. It's going to be between 81 and 100. So what's the square root of 81? 9. What's the square root of 100? 10. I split it in half. So now, the square root of 86. Now, how many is it to get from 86 to 100? It's 14. That's a big number. How many does it take to get from 81 to 86? Just 5. So which side of the line is it going to be on? This side. So I just mark this entire side off because it's not going to be over there. Now it's just about our guessing. So the total distance between this is 19. And that's about 5 away. So halfway would be about 9. So let's say about 9.3 approximately, somewhere in there. And the actual answer is 9.27, so we are correct. So square root of 86 is approximately 9.3. And that is literally me just guessing at these. I did find the answers before, but I didn't remember them. It's not guessing, it's not actual guessing. It's using a system to get it narrowed down, and then using your common and number sense to figure out the rest of it. That's all this is. Do not make it harder than it needs to be. Use this process, it'll make it a lot easier, and write down your perfect square roots if you don't know them already. All right, I hope this helps, and good luck.